All the devotees here for Bhagavad Gita class, chapter number 4, text number 6. The Lord is answering the question of Arjuna. How is it that you have been born after the sun god? So how could you speak the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita to him? How am I to understand? And Lord had explained in the previous shloka, Bahuni me vatitani janmani tavacharjuna tanyaham veda sarvani natham vetat parantapa. There have been many births of you and mine. I remember all of them, but you don't remember. Now the Lord will explain more about the nature of his birth, about his omniscience, about his supremacy over everything that be in this shloka. Very important, long also. So we'll try to cover as much as possible fully today. So breakfast will get delay. So a little bit poem. Go ahead. At least for the devotees in front of me, but you are free to go also. But today is holiday, so you can, at least for some devotees here. So don't worry. Prasadam will come. Both have holidays means? Both of them have holidays. So then we'll catch you today. Give you extra punishment. So yeah. Please chant after me. Ajopi sanna vyayatma.
Ajopi sanna vyayatma.
Bhutanam ishvaropi san.
Bhutanam ishvaropi san.
Prakritim swamadhisthaya.
Prakritim swamadhisthaya.
Sambhavamyatma mayaya.
Sambhavamya atma mayaya.
Ajopi sanna vyayatma.
Ajopi sanna vyayatma.
Bhutanam ishvaropi san.
Bhutanam ishvaropi san.
Prakritim swamadhisthaya.
Prakritim swamadhisthaya.
Sambhavamyatma mayaya.
Sambhavamyatma mayaya.
Ajopi sanna vyayatma.
Ajopi sanna vyayatma.
Bhutanam ishvaropi san.
Bhutanam ishvaropi san.
Prakritim swamadhisthaya.
Prakritim swamadhisthaya.
Sambhavamyatma mayaya.
Sambhavamyatma mayaya.
Okay.
Ajopi sanna vyayatma.
Ajopi san avyayatma.
Ajopi san avyayatma.
Ajopi, avajo कहाँ से आ गया? Ajopi, please chant again.
Ajopi sanna vyayatma.
Ajopi san avyayatma.
Ajopi san avyayatma.
Ajopi san avyayatma.
Bhutanam ishvaropi san.
Bhutanam ishvaropi san.
Prakritim swamadhisthaya.
Prakritim swamadhisthaya.
Sambhavamya atma mayaya.
Sambhavamya atma mayaya. So you see, in the previous shloka, the Lord has explained that there have been many births of him and of Arjuna. And he remembers them all, and Arjuna does not remember. So that shows his omniscience, and that shows his eternal nature. That's one thing. And I don't know if you have noticed this point, we've stressed on this point that it is not that Brahman assumes the form of Krishna, because that happens once. If at all that is accepted, and then once the Brahman becomes liberated, it does not further takes birth. समझ रहे हैं? But the Lord is saying, I'm taking birth again and again. But then now he clarifies more, as I say, he dilates on this subject matter, how his birth is different from the ordinary conditioned soul's birth. So he says, Ajapi, although I am unborn. Ajapi san. San means being Aja. Hote hue. Ajo api hote hue. In spite of being unborn. Now, this is a very deep statement. What does it mean to be unborn? He is unborn in the sense that he is not born like a karma-dheen conditioned soul. The conditioned soul which is under the bondage of karma, who takes birth under the bondage of karma. Who gives up the body under the bondage of karma and gets the body under the bondage of karma. He will clarify in the second part of the shloka. So you are able to understand this? Ajo api. Now, this has a link from the previous shloka. I have so many things to speak on this shloka. He says, takes birth And now he says ajo api. That's why he used the word api. I want to glorify you, Krishna. Why you cannot give me a proper throat? I don't know. Ajo api. Are you able to? I'm going slow so that you can link with the previous shloka. He says he has birth. Although he's aja. It's quite contradictory, but it is not contradictory. This will be explained in the second part of the shloka. This is understood? Why he's saying ajo api? Why he's saying ajo api? Speak in the mic.
He also takes birth, not like ordinary.
That's why I asked you. Ajo api does not mean he also takes birth. He says, although I am unborn. Aja means who does not take birth. Although I am unborn, take it from previous shloka, still I take many, many births. This will be connected to the coming shlokas. Why he takes birth, that is a different thing. But here is explained how he takes birth. See, we are learning about the how, why, and what about Krishna. Why and what will be explained later on. Why Krishna takes birth will be explained different. What he has explained yesterday, he takes so many births. And how he takes that birth is explained here. भाई मुझे तो विश्वास नहीं हो रहा है, कुछ समझ में आ रहा है किसी को कुछ नहीं. मैं मान रहा हूँ कि मैं खराब टीचर हूँ, बट इतना खराब तो नहीं हुआ है. नहीं समझ आ रहा है. I'm so enthusiastic about this shloka. Anyhow, I assume that everybody has understood everything. आकाश तो अपना नाम ही भूल गया. Anyhow, avyatma. Avyay. Vyay means depreciation, decline, going lesser and lesser. But he is avyatma. That means his body, his mind, anything you can take the meaning of the word atma. Although there is no difference between body and mind of Krishna, but mind, body, anything of Krishna does not deteriorate. Just like his memory also did not deteriorate. Each and every word is very deep. Maybe we'll do it in 2 classes. It's really nice for able to follow. But is the condition soul's body aware? No, it's constantly changing. Then somebody may say that the living entities are also who are liberated. They are also not born. I'm not talking about the conditioned soul. The living entities, I mean to say those who are in Vaikuntha, they are also aja. They don't get birth. And they are also avyatma because they don't decay in their spiritual forms. So what is special about you? Then he says, Bhutanam Ishwaro Pisan. Are you able to follow? Bhutanam means the living entities and Ishwara means controller. I am also. Now api means, here api is not used in this api is not used in the sense of api. It is used in the sense of avadharana. Definitely certainly I am Bhutanam Ishwaro. I am the controller of all living entities. The living entities in Vaikuntha are not controllers of other living entities. Are you able to follow? Now the Lord explains, although he is aja, he is unborn, how in a special way he takes birth. Prakritim swam adhisthaya. Adhishtha. Just like adhisht is a word is used in the sense of placed or situated. Just like we are adhishtit. I am now adhishtit on this chair. You are adhishtit on this floor. You are situated in your situation. They say prakritim swam adhishthaya. Being situated in my own prakriti. So now this is quite interesting. Own prakriti means his prakriti is different from this material energy. This is a very deep shloka. Are you able to follow? Everybody is going blank on Zoom. कुछ समझ में आ रहा है? We are right now not situated in our prakriti. We are in a state which is completely different from our real self. Is it not? Our bodies and everything is different from what we really are. We cannot imagine how beautiful we are. You know that everybody in Vaikuntha is so beautiful. We may identify with our body, not may, we are, but we cannot imagine how much people are beautiful in Vaikuntha or in Goloka. The real beauty of the Atma. So this, whenever we discuss something about Krishna, and it's easier to understand when we see in the context of the conditioned soul that we are not situated in our prakriti when we are in this material world. So can you distinguish how the Lord is appearing? And Sambhavami Atma Maya. Very, very interesting word. Now, Maya normally means kapat or cheating. But here Maya does not mean cheating or dambhe. Dambhe means pride. Maya here refers to mercy. It refers to his energy. Both meanings will be taken in the commentary. Sambhavami, I manifest himself. Sambhav, you understand? It is possible. He makes it possible for the people in the world to see him by his Atma Maya, by his own mercy. I hope the meanings of the words are clear. I mean, this is one meaning. There are many meanings. By his own energy, he makes uh, his birth possible. By his own mercy, he makes his manifestation possible in this material world. Otherwise, by material eyes, you cannot see Krishna. Is it okay? We'll go forward. Although I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all living entity, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. Gita Bhushan commentary. In speaking of the uniqueness of his birth and form, the Lord indicates his eternal nature. We have discussed in the yesterday's shloka that Lord has birth, and definitely his birth means his form also, and Arjuna also has. So how to distinguish between the birth and form of the Lord and the living entity, the Lord expounds further in this shloka. Okay. In this verse, the word, I'm going particularly slow because it may, should I speed up or you're able to understand? So many things will come in this commentary. In this verse, the word Prakriti means form. Now you see, that's why Prabhupada translates as original transcendental form. What is that? Again, go back to shloka. Prakritim swam adhisthaya, situated in my original form. Okay? I will explain like this only. If you take the meaning of Prakriti as Sarupa, that means Krishnambhavam Prakritim, that means Sarupam Swam Adhisthaya. Are you able to follow the Sanskrit? Instead of saying Prakritim Swam Adhisthaya, you say Sarupam Swam Adhisthaya. That means situated in my form. Situated in the form means manifesting my original form. Swam form, Swarupa. Swam Rupa, Krishna. Now you understand. So I manifest that. This is one meaning. Nature means Swabhav. Swabhavam Swamadhisthaya. If you get a little bit Sanskrit, you're understanding what I'm trying to say. Just replace the word Prakriti with Swarupa. Then you say, you replace with Swabhav. What is Swabhav? He is very merciful. And that's why he manifests his form and pastimes so that the living entities can see him and become delivered. Just like we heard about Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu by his personal darshan delivered so many living entities. Now you understand? Sarupam Swamadhisthaya. You keep on replacing that word with different words which have the meaning for Prakriti. Sarup and Swabhav, you understand? Sarup is form and Swabhav is nature. Can you distinguish between these two words? A person may look very nice, One devotee was telling me this. People normally get bewildered by looks, but they don't know the nature of that person. Is it not? Many times the nature may not be as it appears by looks. But good thing about Krishna is he looks beautiful and he is also very nice. I don't know whether you have seen that photo of Krishna, must have seen, where Krishna is very nice child, Krishna, beautiful child Krishna. And when fruit vendor Mataji comes and Krishna, in order to get that fruit, he has seen how his mother is doing barter system. So then he gets some grains and the grains are falling. And by the time he reaches that vendor, everything is gone. Still, she becomes so much enamored by Krishna's beauty. And then she gives her fruits to him. And then and some fruits, obviously. And then she sees that the whole basket is filled with jewels. So Krishna looks beautiful and Krishna's nature is also merciful. He's all powerful. So, Subhav. He's merciful to the living entities and that's why he comes. Okay, now what is the other meaning? Or manner. I don't know what is manner. Manner. Shishtachar, you can say, but I will have to look at the Sanskrit, exact Sanskrit commentary that what does he want to say? Manner. Manner Swamadhisthaya. I don't know what does it mean. If you can get the Sanskrit, then you can understand. Taking support of my own form, Swam Prakriti means Swam Sarupa here. I appear. That means he manifests his original transcendental form. Clear? Amar Kosh gives this definition of Prakriti. Samsiddhi Prakriti tu ime Swarupam cha Subhavascha. So there are three meanings of Prakriti: Swarupam, Subhav, and Samsiddhi. So we have discussed this. Swarupam you have understood. He manifests his own transcendental form. I appear with my own spiritual form. The Lord expands on this in the first line in order to bring out this meaning. What does it mean? Api is used in the emphatic sense. So I will read the whole thing and then explain. I am indeed without a birth which normally gives to a person a body caused by past karma. So Ajopi here means that the Lord manifests his transcendental form. He is not like a conditioned soul who gets a body as per his karma. Very simple. Very simple to understand. Is it not? And as I have told, Api is here for emphasis, avadharana. Ajo Api, although I am unborn, still I take birth. So you must understand that that form is certainly is not the form which is given to a particular living entity as per his karma. Simple. समझ गए? My intelligence and other elements are all without transformation. Did I explain that? You remember? If you go back to here, Sanskrit, Avyayatma. Avyay plus Atma. So, what is the meaning of Atma? The meaning of Atma is your body, mind, intelligence, and obviously soul. The soul, there is no question of decay. But does our body decays? Yes. Does our mind decay? Well, it degrades at least. It doesn't decay, but it degrades by many things. And does our intelligence decay? Definitely. As we grow old, the intelligence gradually dwindles. So now you add the word avyay with Atma and then understand the meaning. Is it getting too complicated or able to appreciate? Avyay means inexhaustible. So Lord's mind is inexhaustible. Lord's intelligence is inexhaustible. The Lord's form is inexhaustible. Easy to understand? Now you may say Lord's mind is not different from him. We agree with, but just to say that Just from a perception point of view, you may see, we say sometimes speak like this, but uh, if Krishna also speaks like that, that the saints are in my heart, although his heart is not different from him. Sadhu Nam Hridayam Tuham, and I am in the heart of the devotee. So he does speak that language. Note, in the introduction, Baldev has given the meaning of Atma. The word Atma refers to Ishwar, Jeev and their bodies, the mind, intelligence, determination and effort. Well, I did not notice this. So now we can expand more. Krishna has avyaya determination. Whatever he determines, संकल्प समझ रहे हैं, whatever he says, I want to do this, will definitely come to pass. Quite interesting that Mahaprabhu has wants that this whole material world, and not much, I don't know about the material world, but at least the earth planet should have the Hare Krishna mantra spread all over the world. So by his determination, which is itself a fact, this movement is getting spread. Very nice point by another brahmachari yesterday, that we shall always feel that we are very fallen. We are not the best. We are not the best, but let us try to spread the message of Mahaprabhu, of Krishna. That's quite interesting. I am not the best, definitely, but I can try to please Mahaprabhu and Krishna by doing something to expand their mission. Somehow I feel I should give a sequel to it at 10 o'clock, because I won't be able to finish by 9 a.m. This is too nice shloka. So you understand, avyaya determination means avyaya sankalpa. His determination cannot be eroded. Yes. Before we think about Krishna, let us think about ourselves. We determine to do so many things, and then at certain point of time, it is so difficult. Many things, is it not? But Krishna is not like that. Effort, avyaya effort, inexhaustible effort. Well, for him, just to desire is sufficient to manifest the whole material world. We can't even make our own eye. Leave alone, and don't believe the doctors. I had a pain in my ear. Certainly had a pain, and I went to the ENT specialist, and he says, "You have no problem." I said, "मेरा दिमाग खराब हो गया कि मैं आपके पास आया हूँ. I am mad that I am coming to you. There is a problem. That's why I am coming. You are not Krishna that आपका दर्शन करने के लिए आया. उनको बोला नहीं मैं. But you are not Krishna that I have come to you for darshan or something." So you see, in front of doctors, so many people are leaving their bodies, is it not? So you see, they put a lot of efforts, but does not mean that all their efforts are bring to fruition. So these are the words how we can understand in terms of Krishna. So Ishwar, Atma, you cannot say Avya Ishwar. Avya Ishwar you can say, but Avya Jiva, Avya bodies, nothing to do. That will not make much sense. But here Atma refers to the bodies, mind, intelligence of Krishna, determination of Krishna. So you see, it's quite interesting how deep Sanskrit is. If this shloka had to be spoken in English, you will have to make how many shlokas? How many shlokas? You should have made one. Inexhaustible body, inexhaustible intelligence, inexhaustible determination. So many things. But Krishna, Sanskrit is amazing, is it not? One word, Atma, and then it can signify all of that. And this all describes Krishna's qualities. Just like a small point, how Muchukund Maharaj was promised by Garga Muni that you will see Krishna, and that was in Satyuga. And then Krishna, in order to fulfill that sankalpa of Garga Muni, and also to show mercy to Muchukund Maharaj, he actually went even while Muchukund Maharaj was sleeping and showed his Mangal Arati to him personally, live. You know that pastime. So Krishna remembers those incident with Muchukund Maharaj. He served his devotees or demigods earlier. So Krishna rewards his devotees. That's very nice. In due course of time, we will all get our rewards of bhakti. And that will be very satisfying. I'm saying because Krishna remembers whatever we have done. And Krishna only sees our bright side, not our dark side. I just don't want to go further than this. I just want to meditate on this point only. Krishna's determination. As soon as we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna determines, I must save this soul. Prabhupada says yesterday I was reading in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the chanting Hare Krishna means accepting ourselves as eternal servants of the Lord. What a deep statement, is it not? Very amazing. Determination, Krishna determination. Very nice. And in spite of all this, he's Can I have some water? He's grateful for all our services we do with all our impure hearts in whichever way we can do. He's so merciful. Can you read the translation for that little bit? Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll just try to control myself. I just become emotional about all this. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This meaning of Atma is indicated by statements such as Atma Punshi, means, okay, according to Medni, the definition of Atma is follows: Atma Pumsi Svabhavapi, Prayant Manasorapi, Dritav Api Manishayam, Sharir Brahmanorapi. Atma refers to human being, nature, fire, mind, determination, understanding, body, and Brahman, Jiva, and the Lord. So some of the meanings we have discussed. So now he goes further. I am also the controller of all the jivas, all those beings other than myself. That's quite interesting. But Krishna is controller of everybody. I'm making a joke on Krishna. Krishna is the controller of everybody. But some people are there who controls Krishna also. You know that. Who's that? Mother Yashoda. Hey Krishna, if you don't eat nicely, you will die. Oh Vanar Bandhu, oh friend of the monkeys. Like that. So like that. But he's the controller of. But do you think Mother Yashoda is controlled by Krishna?
No.
What is the answer? Do you think Mother Yashoda is controlled by Krishna? Yes. So you see, he controls all the living entities in this world by the modes of material nature. Is it not? But he controls all the living entities in the spiritual world by waves of love. If I put it like this, modes of material nature are also like waves. Good or me. Bhagavatam says, Gun or me. There are waves of waves of passion and ignorance. I see my own consciousness all throughout the day. It's really amazing. See, 10 o'clock is so passionate. You don't feel like giving class. But morning is so nice, is it not? Every time in the morning, I think I will do small kirtan, but I always feel like doing more kirtan. It's always good. So we are actually riding on the waves of material nature. And the night time obviously is full of mode of ignorance and everything. So just saying, he controls the whole world by modes of material nature in this material world, but he controls the supreme. Not, I would not use the word control, but he's controlled and controls by love. To be controlled by love is different, is it not? When the mother is controlled by the love for her child, she serves the child, is it not? Selflessly. So anyhow, will not much direct on this point. I am also the controller of all the jivas, all those beings other than myself. So he's the supreme controller. I appear in my form means I appear in my supreme form of knowledge and bliss with qualities such as being without birth, without transformation, and being the controller of all beings. So you see, that is the meaning of the word Prakritim Swam Adhisthaya. Swarupam Swam Adhisthaya, you understand? So now this form is what? Govindam Adi Purusham Tamano. What is that? Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha. He manifests his Sachidananda form in front of the living entities. I appear in my supreme form of knowledge and bliss with qualities such as being without birth. Ajo api. So that word Aja is situated with Prakritim Swamadhisthaya. He's unborn. He's that see. As soon as you remember Krishna, if at all, then you remember Krishna in one form, normally one form, or Bal Gopal, or all those forms are unborn. Bal Gopal form or the form of Sham Sundar, they're all not born from somebody. He just manifests those forms. And you must remember, just like he manifests the form of Gopal in front of Madhavendra Puri directly, is it not? It's not that he had to take a birth and then become a child and then grow into the form of Bal Gopal like that. So he manifests that form. He's eternally having such pastimes in the spiritual world with those forms. कुछ समझ में आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा है? Just like sun. Now, as sun is appearing to us right now, at every second, in some place, sun is taking birth or not? Not birth, but is appearing. Do you agree? So I'm just saying that's similarly the Supreme Lord is manifesting his pastimes one after another in some universe. So he's manifesting that unborn form without transformation. This is very bewildering because we see Krishna is actually growing. But he says no transformation. All these forms are amazing. You remember, I was very much bewildered by this. I said, "Bhai, Bhagwan to bade hue dikhte hain. Krishna appears to be growing. So how you can say that he's aware, he's not transforming?" But you should remember, I don't know if you can remember that. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, we have discussed that. Krishna, one form is Shamrup, Swamrup Krishna, Sham Sundar. And then there are various forms which simultaneously are manifested. It's still very bewildering. I am giving class to you, but in another form, I cannot be in temple class. Hopefully, I was praying to Krishna, at least give me one form so that I can sit in the temple and sit here also. Maybe three, because then I can sit in Hindi class. I think one is sufficient. So one more form. Maybe if only my mother had given birth to one more brother who had been Judwa, that would have also worked out, is it not? He would have been sitting in the class. I would have told him, "I am your elder brother, rascal. Go and sit there. I'll give class here." But that also doesn't work. You know what you can do. That capacity we don't have. So anyhow, just joking on this point. And controller of all beings. Ishasya hi vasho loko. Ishasya hi vashe loko yosha daru mayatha. Everybody becomes controlled. That's what Prabhupada says on this point. Very beautiful. Krishna, you are the source of all knowledge and everything. And you are in my heart. Just don't make me forget you. Let me always remember you by chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Very easy to forget Krishna, is it not? So all these material desires, as we have heard in Bhagavatam, the living entity is like sky, but gets covered over by the modes of material. Any moment, anyone can become covered over. So when we take to the path of bhakti, it seems very simple and easy, which it is. Just simple and easy. But the obstacles are very daunting also, is it not? And not from outside. Particularly, I don't feel any obstacle from outside. Is the internal obstacles which actually are the greatest. And that's what Lord has also told that. What is that? Kama rupa turasadam. Jai shatru mahabahu kama rupa turasadam. And this calm is internal. That's why I sometimes have doubt, will devotees survive? I mean, sometimes because so many people drop out even from the struggle. Even from the struggle, devotees drop out. Will they survive? I mean, I always think about it. That's why I become concerned about so many devotees who are very enthusiastic in the beginning as usual, but then as we become conscious of our shortcomings, will we survive? Oh, no, I would not want to put like this. Would you like or would I like to see my shortcomings? And the answer for most of us is we don't want. You know that? But you know whom we are worshipping? Krishna, who is the controller of all living entities. I hope I'm not depressing anyone, but he will make sure that he will switch on the light of your dark room, is it not? By his transcendental effulgence of chanting Hare Krishna. Prabhupada says this, once you realize how much fallen you are, you become really humble, which happens with every devotee. Nothing to be depressed, because humble means I am fallen, Krishna is merciful. but but this is very nice. I don't know. I don't want to depress devotees. My mood is getting mixed with the class today. But let's say that. The birth of his Sarupa is thus like the appearance of the sun. Did I mention to you right now? You see, you know, you are all intelligent. By now, you must have become intelligent, I hope. So if I ask you a simple question, let me just ask Vipin Prabhu. Vipin Prabhu, catch the mic. What is the temperature difference between the sun in the morning and sun in the afternoon?
Lot of difference.
Huh?
Lot of difference.
Lot of difference. So can you tell what is approximately how much will be the temperature difference between sun in the morning and sun in the afternoon?
Around 20 to 25.
So he says around 20 to 25 degrees. What is your education qualification?
MSc,
Let me make some fun of it. Yes.
MSc Maths.
MSc Maths. He should have at least studied MSc Physics, but he must have studied something, is it not? What is the question I asked you? Hey, you asked. Repeat the question. What did I ask you?
The temperature in the morning of sun and the temperature in the afternoon.
Yes. So what is the difference?
I think same.
Yeah. You see.
Same.
So you see, what is that? We speak in first canto Bhagavatam, first shloka. Muhyanti yata surya. Even the demigods, earthly demigods get bewildered. Don't worry, you are not the first one who got bewildered. We wanted to bewilder you. So you see, the temperature of sun is same, but we think, oh, sun is so nice to look at now, and then sun will. कितना गर्म हो गया है सूर्य. Now sun has become very hot. Sun is same temperature. So similarly, Krishna appears to be small child, but is as powerful. You see, when Putana saw Krishna in small baby form, she could understand that he is not an ordinary person. Immediately she could understand. As if some sword is put under the sheath, or fire is covered by some ashes. Like that. So Krishna, that's what we again discussed that in, I think it was 10.20.4, Saguna, that thing one was there, that one should never have doubts about Lord Krishna when he manifests himself in this material world. And to clarify those doubts, Krishna is speaking all these things. Are you able to understand? Because if we don't understand the tattva properly, we just can't pick up the leela. एकदम नहीं समझ पाए कि लीला क्या कर रहे हैं भगवान. Is it not? If for example, a person is with one wife, you can say he must have some lust. Two, at least double, and three times. And if 16,100 most beautiful wives, then must be very lusty, yes. But he has not even a drop of lust. Nothing. So very bewildering. So it's a very big subject matter about Krishna. So you are able to understand, sun doesn't have those difference of forms. Sun's form is fixed, but we see different forms. Just like the example of Vaidurya Mani was given yesterday. The same Vaidurya Mani is there, but you see it from different angles and you see different colors. Okay. In this way, his birth and form have been shown to be completely different from those people of this world, and by this his eternal nature is also shown. So did you get this point? How his form is different, how his eternal like that. I will try to complete this commentary. Dependence on karma is rejected. What does it mean? It means that Krishna does not take birth under the control of karma. You think it's easy? Not easy. Do you know Rupa Govind Prabhu, where are you going to take birth next life? Or anyone here sitting here? What to talk of being free? We don't even know where we're going to take birth. Well, we are doing bhakti, so we are in safe hands, but still we don't know. And maybe if we were supposed to go back to Godhead also, still Krishna is not revealing it, otherwise we will become puffed up. We don't know whether we can go back to Godhead. But don't know means at least in this life we don't know so many things. But we don't know. That's quite amazing, is it not? You don't feel anything amazed about it? Every line in this commentary you can start meditating and it is so wonderful. Dependence on karma is rejected. Just like example, if I become pleased with some grahastha devotee, for example, they feed me very nicely, sometimes they do, and say, oh, you have fed me so nicely, so I'll take birth as your son and for 3 births. Is it possible? Or the prime minister can he says, I may not be that powerful, but maybe the prime minister can say, okay, you have pleased me so much, I'll take birth as your son. He cannot even guarantee that he will take as a son or daughter. That also he doesn't have control. So you see, anyone whom we are glorifying, this is so heavy, anyone whom we are glorifying this world is simply a bond or a person who's bound by karma, completely bound with hands and legs. So we have to become a little humble in this regard. Only unless we take shelter of Krishna, we cannot become bound. And Krishna can make us free from this bondage of karma because he himself is free completely. Rather, is a controller of karma. And you know what? Although our karma is beginningless, but he can just vanquish it in a second. It's so powerful. In this regard, am I going too off track, or I'm just trying to explain some of the words. When I read this commentary yesterday, I was like quite excited to discuss it. In this regard, the Shruti says, Ajayamano Bahuda Vijayate. Though unborn, he appears in many forms. Mahanarayana Upanishad. The Smriti says, Prataksham cha harir janma na vikaraha katanchana. The birth of the Lord, though visible, takes place without transformation of his Sarupa. Padma. Did you get this? Pratyaksham cha harir janma. It is visible. Do you know or do you accept that the birth of the Supreme Lord was pratyaksha in front of Devaki, Mother Devaki and Vasudeva? And also we know that Krishna took birth from Mother Yashoda. So, you know that point? We have, at any other point we'll discuss that. But, na vikara kathanchana. So the words are very, very strong. Never ever we should think that the birth of the Supreme Lord is because of transformation. Now I have to explicitly explain what this transformation refers to. We are, or our body is a result of several transformations. After the conception, then it's like a bubble, and then it's so many transformations. Then some of the hands are appearing, some eyes are appearing, little bit, and in that we get this miserable body. Avadyam imam lokam, avadya body, with which I am too much attached also. Are you able to understand that our body is constantly going under transformation? What transformation are you feeling now? Some acidic juices coming in your stomach. No? You don't feel hungry now? And then when you take prasadam or food, whatever, again some transformation is happening. Constantly transforming body. So when you analyze our situation and contrast just what is that? The word was contrast, juxtaposition. In a contrast, you put Krishna's body, then you understand what is special about Krishna. Before we go forward, do you agree that demigods get transformed? Yes. Yes. Indra gets hurt. Is it not? When he was fighting with Vittasur, they were all killed when they tried to lift, what is that mountain? Gandhamadhan? No. Sumeru. Which is that used for churning? Mandrachal. As they lifted Mandrachal mountain, all of them, the demons and demigods, they crushed. They all were finished. So their bodies get transformed. Even Daksha in heavenly planets, his head was cut off by Veerabhadra. It's quite interesting. A very, very important point. Now, do you feel, or do you not feel, but do you know from Shastra that demigods also become lusty? Yes. Yes. Indra, we have so many examples. Even Indra, not only Indra, Vasishta also. Huh? Yeah, one time Brahmaji, you can't just point out Brahmaji too much, but he's a Sampradaya Acharya. He will throw you out of the Sampradaya. don't say so much thing about Brahmaji. It happened in previous Kalpa. You are in this Kalpa. Don't talk too much about Brahmaji. But Shivji also had this some. But obviously Shivji was attracted to Mohini, this Krishna, Vishnu. So you see, कुछ समझ रहे हैं ना, एक एक शब्द पे कितना सुंदर बात है. We are constantly transforming, but Krishna is self same. That's also very amazing. Then you say, no, Krishna is actually growing. But then why, the question can be raised, then why does he not grow beyond 16 years of age? That Prabhupada will speak in his purport. Make sense to you? So this is all happening by his sweet will. I'll again explain this point. Krishna manifests all his different forms, child form or baby form, adolescent form, to give pleasure to his devotees. समझ रहे हैं? If Krishna has that special
quality.
No, that special rasa to see your baby as Krishna, that Mother Ishta wants to experience. So he manifests that form. Idam teva puranath gopal balam sadami manasya virashtam kimanye. So you see that Gopal Bal form Satyavat Muni is attached to. You want to say something? Yes, speak in the mic.
Like we say Krishna, we see that Krishna is growing from
Growing, yes.
growing. So those like growing means is a continuous manifestations of Krishna.
Something of that sort. Just like sun appears to be different forms, and that is continuous only, is it not? But sun remains in the same form. कुछ कुछ समझ रहे हैं ना. देखिए, by analogy you can understand a little bit, but deeper realization will come to us when we advance in bhakti, how all those things happen. But that is very clear, is it not? Sun remains in one form, but then he appears to be deep reddish, yellowish, and as he sunrise happens.
Yeah.
Okay. Are my devotees on Zoom with me, or everybody has switched off his video and gone for playing football? Situated in their own energy, Prakritim Swamadhisthaya. I hope they are hearing something, at least. Okay, they are saying yes. So I agree that they are saying yes, and I believe them that they are there, listening. They are listening, but not seeing. Maybe they are not seeing, but they are listening. Fine. I'm happy with listeners also. Earlier, I used to give. Sometimes I would give class in temple, so only 3 people were sitting, and there was no data how many are listening. So at least we know these many devotees are listening. Don't we? We can stop here if you want and take prasadam and continue tomorrow.
Prasadam come around 9:20.
9:20. Okay. Yeah, we don't get opportunity to discuss in the morning that much. So we'll see. We'll try to escape tomorrow also. Maybe I should start class at 8:10. Sit there and I'm just coming. And then, anyways, we'll not joke here. So you understand this point. Krishna manifests his own Swarupa and there are no transformations. There appear to be transformations. See, this is a very conflicting point. Just now, Prabhu said that Krishna is growing. Krishna is growing, but not due to transformations. We are growing, or not growing. Our body is actually transforming. We are not growing, so to speak. What is that? Tatha dehantar, antar, parivartan, transformation of bodies.
Yes.
Makes sense. I am surprised, whenever few days back I got shaved and then again some beard is growing, although not much, but I said it's too much, it's too much bodily maintenance. Again, then you have to shave it and again it grows. So, but Krishna does not grow beard. Krishna grows, but have you ever seen mustache of Krishna or beard? That's quite interesting, is it not? So his growing is different from our growing. Yes, this is now you see, if you say or if you have some doubts, probably samajh mein nahi aa rahe Bhagwan. Very good. If you don't understand Krishna, then you will start thinking about Krishna. Is it good or bad? Yes. If something bewilders you, then we think about it. Is it not? Unless something really bewilders us, we are not really thinking about it. कुछ ग्रहण कर रहे हैं नहीं कर रहे हैं. This will continue further and further. The more you will know about Krishna, the more you will get bewildered. And that's the goal of life. To be bewildered by Krishna. नहीं समझ में आ रहा है bewildered मतलब कुछ attraction, you will not be attracted to anything else. The fact is we know less about Krishna. That's why we are less bewildered, and that's why we are bewildered by these things in this world. Okay. Thus, one should recall his appearance in the delivery room with divine form, decorated with divine ornaments, and with the 6 opulences. You should remember. Recall means you remember that Krishna appeared as in Vishnu form, and then immediately changed into 400 form of a baby. Here, very careful. And then when the mother told, "Oh, I will not be able to conceal you," then he becomes 200 form. And when he earlier had ornaments also on him. How many of us are born with ornaments? I mean, it would be questionable if we are given ornaments after our birth also. Normally people are so poor. Now everybody wears plastic ornaments, is it not? And we are advancing. So this is quite amazing, is it not? Divine ornaments and with the six opulences full of, let me remember the 6 opulences. Vipin Prabhu, can you remind me of the 6 opulences? I have many opulences. One opulence is that I have a very sharp memory. And the second opulence is I forgot. Second opulence I forgot. So please help me with the 6 opulences of Krishna. Bhagwan.
Purna Gyan.
Purna Gyan. I speak in English. Full knowledge.
Full
yes.
knowledge.
Yeah.
Full beauty.
Full beauty.
Full powerful.
Full strength. Okay. Full fame.
Fame.
And full renunciation. One more is left. Full wealth. And this I'd like to say a small comment that if Krishna gives us all other opulences, big trouble. But Krishna gives us his renunciation, we'll be very happy.
Yes.
Very deep statement by Kadam Kanam Maharaj. If you become beautiful, बहुत बड़ा problem. बहुत ज़्यादा बड़ा problem. One of our brahmacharis have got 5 proposals up till now. Quite difficult. And you know what he says? I cannot take money from temple. Do you have 2 crore rupees? quite good strategy. And they just say, no, we don't have. But it's amazing. No, ज़्यादा अच्छा कपड़ा उपड़ा पहनने का यही दिक्कत होता है. If you dress too nicely and you look very handsome, then I said, why do you do like this? Anyhow, that is what I'm saying. Being beautiful is a problem. Then wealthy is a big problem. Do you agree? Just reflect upon all this. Every word is so nice. And if you are very knowledgeable, then we ourselves become proud. And Guru Maharaj says, pride does not come before fall. Pride is fall. And if you get, what is that? Fame. Of the people are after you. They'll take their photos wherever. Paparazzi, what paparazzi? They will take your photo wherever you are going. Just too much trouble. What is else? Beauty we have taken. Strength again. You see, he, that Dattatreya gave him the benediction, Kartaviri Arjun, to become very strong. Then he's saying what to do with it. So, but if he gives us renunciation, that will be real. That will be very good for us. Just like Gopinath Acharya, not Gopinath, some devotee told Gopinath Patnaik tells to Mahaprabhu that you have saved me from death, and my post has been given much superior post with increased salary. But that is not your real mercy. Your real mercy, if you make a devotee nishkam. Yadi dasyasi me kaman varadam varadashbha kamanam hrida sanroham bhavatastu vrane varam. Like that. So anyhow, yes, Prabhu, give it the mic to him.
As you said that if you get the quality of renunciation from Krishna, then we see that if you have the renunciation, then we have also the ego like that.
No. Renunciation means renouncing everything.
So, sometimes
False
the
ego.
people take the shelter of the renunciation and they.
See, people take shelter of renunciation ashram, that's a different thing. And then they become proud, that's a different thing. But if you're actually renounced, it means renounce of everything. Renunciation of material desires, anything. That is opulence. Just see how bad it is to be called coward for a Kshatriya. But Krishna just left the battlefield happily. And rather, he is actually worshipped as Ranachor. That's quite interesting. We can dilate much on this, but I'll go further. Okay. Okay, I'll just finish by 9:15. Fine. Okay. The Lord then indicates the purpose of his appearance. I appear for delivering the jivas out of my extreme mercy. Do you get this? Atma Maya. Maya means mercy. Because you see, all those qualities which Krishna has when he manifests his form, nobody can force him or nobody can bring him in that way. He has to manifest by his own energy for those who worship me. When Krishna does not appear, still there is so much hue and cry that he doesn't have a form. If he does not appear at all, then सोचिए क्या होगा? समझ रहे हैं? Krishna appears so many times. Avatara hi sankheya hare sattva nidhe dvajaha. Still people say that Krishna doesn't have form. Think about it. But then he personally comes to deliver those who have a longing to see him, like Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj was also, anyhow, so you understand this point, just like Advaita Charji also, how to say, Ahvahan ko kya kehenge English mein? Called out to Sriman Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Like that. Atma Maya, you understood? By his own mercy. Just like the child cries out to his mother, the mother will also, out of her own compassion or mercy toward the child, love toward the child, she will come. According to Vishwakosh, Maya means pride and mercy. Maya dambhe kripayam cha. I think this shloka you have seen several times in the commentaries. Now, will you take the meaning of Maya as dambha here? No. You will only take the meaning of mercy here. I am not coming here out of pride. Krishna, that doesn't follow here in the shloka. Maya kripayam cha. Others say that so you understood this point? Sambhavami at Maya. Sambhav means he makes it possible only because of his mercy. Beautiful point. I think all the devotees desire that one day Krishna will manifest eternally in their hearts. Do you? At least 4 devotees with their videos on, they can at least nod just to encourage me. Yes, Prabhuji. Yes. You feel like singing that, you know. Mama mana mandire rahu nishide Krishna Murari Sri Krishna Murari. A beautiful song by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. We have sung it before. Very nice. We know our hearts are impure, and we must remember that unless our heart is pure, Krishna will not manifest himself. But we have that aspiration. So not only Krishna manifest himself in the world, he will manifest to his devotee in his heart. कुछ ग्रहण कर रहे हैं. Just like Maharaj was explaining how Krishna descended in the heart of Vasudev. He said all the time, I'm explained that I'm beyond my senses. I'm beyond the senses. I'm beyond the mind and everything. And my devotees are complaining that my mind is not, we are not able to fix our mind in you. So let me fix myself in their mind. This is Bhagavatam is amazing. If you there in 10th canto explains. So Krishna descends in the heart of his devotee. Now you say Krishna is already there. Well, he's already there also, and he descends also. Pravishta karna randhena swanam bhavar saroruham dunoti shamalam Krishna salilasya thasharat. Others say that Atma Maya means with his omniscience or through by his own will. Since Maya can also mean knowledge according to the Nigantu Kosha, Maya Vayunam Jnanam cha. Did you get this point? Omniscience, Vayunam. What does Vayunam mean? Means willingness. So Krishna is like now I'm speaking Krishna. So you may say Prabhuji is speaking Krishna. But it is not like that. I am only desiring that the word Krishna may come on my tongue. I have explained several times. And Krishna by his own sweet will in the form of the holy name comes on my tongue. I always reflect upon it on my japa. I really want to receive Krishna very nicely when he comes on my tongue. But because of the material desires, because of distractions and so many things, I'm not able to give him that reception. At least I feel bad about it. Do you think it's a good thing to think? I hope you're understanding what I'm trying to say, that a very exalted person comes, how much we are eager to receive him normally in this material world, giving full attention as if he can give us, or believing that he can give us something very good. But when Krishna and Srimati Radharani come in the form of their holy names, I personally feel I'm still so much deficient in giving them proper reception. I'm not discouraged by it, but I'm just seeing a realistic situation that still we have to be so much that's how the Acharyas were chanting Hare Krishna with a complete absorption, complete reverential mood of chanting Hari Nam. So Krishna comes by his own will, deliver will, and by his own omniscience that he knows what purpose is coming, and what his devotees want, in what form the devotees want to see him. In that way he descends. We have 5 minutes more, so I'll just close with this. Let me see how much. Let me just complete this commentary and then let's stop. You, Prabhuji, you always keep on saying like this. Why don't you? Anyways. All people, even kings with no desire for real knowledge, being ignorant, continue to take birth, giving up the previous body and accepting a new body according to karma. Just this I am leaving to you to meditate upon. How much helpless every living entity, no matter how powerful, intelligent, or all other qualities he may have, is completely helpless. I think that is sufficient to speak. I can think about it. All our parents who say don't serve Krishna and everybody, just they don't know anything about their destination. The Lord's birth is distinct from this. He knows where he's going to take birth. Is it not? He told to Kashyap, Prishni and Sutapa, for 3 lives I'll take birth. And when he took birth also, then he told, this is my 3rd birth as your child. देखिए कि कितना अंतर है जीव में और भगवान में. You must see the distinction between Jiva and the Supreme Lord. Then we can appreciate the Supreme Lord. By stating that he is the Lord of all living beings, he also distinguishes himself from perfected jivas like yogis who also do not take birth. Ajopisan avyayatma bhutanam ishwaropisam. So there are liberated souls who don't take birth. They are also aja, but they are not controllers of every living entity. So Krishna is distinct from the liberated souls also. This will be again and again coming in Bhagavad Gita, that Krishna is the controller of the liberated souls also. The Supreme Lord, consisting of knowledge and bliss, though devoid of difference between his body and himself, between attribute and object, guna and guni, has been acknowledged by the wise to possess those distinctions as Lord with qualities and body through the power of Vishesh. I'll read the whole thing and explain. Note, Vishesh is the power of objects to reveal their qualities as distinct from the object, though the qualities are inseparable from the object. I'll explain this point. So you see, the Lord is talking about Avya Atma. My mind is inexhaustible. My body is inexhaustible. My intelligence is inexhaustible. My determination is inexhaustible. My efforts are inexhaustible. You understand all these meanings. So now, it appears that the determination, the effort, the body and mind of Krishna is different from Krishna. But it is not like that. Try to understand. Do you agree that sun is the form of, the very form of sun is heat and light? So, but light is Krishna's energy. The sun is the energy of sun. So simultaneously some difference. And so it appears that Krishna's form or Krishna's body is different from Krishna, but it is not like that. So guna or guni ka bhed nahi hai. If I'm talking about Krishna's qualities, that is also Krishna. But from our perception, it appears to be different. So the power of Vishesh, it's very complicated to understand, but this is how I've understood up till now. So he manifests that. That's why he speaks also like this. Avya Atma, my body is inexhaustible, but he and his body, there is no difference. But he uses these words. Just like Prabhupada says that Radha and Krishna were one, but they became two. Then question is, when they became two, what is the only use of words? They are eternally one, they are eternally two also. Like that. Anyways, I'll stop here and I'll take a Prabhupada's commentary, Krishna willing, tomorrow, if there is no chastisement, whatever, and I will not say all these things. Anything, no kuch galbad nahi hua, so I will continue it. Should I do it today? No. Tomorrow we'll do. We'll keep it for tomorrow, Prabhupada's commentary for tomorrow. I will request the devotees to read this one time more, and in that way you can appreciate the depth of the shlokas. This is very, very, I hope the devotees must have relished the different meanings of the words here. And somehow I always feel that Bhagavad Gita is simple. Sometimes I feel. But when you begin to discuss, it appears to be very esoteric. So many things. It kind of trains you for Bhagavatam. Because these qualities of Krishna will come again and again in Bhagavatam also. Yes.
Prabhuji, as we know, ki many Parshadas comes from Golaka for the Leela for Mahaprabhu. Right?
Mahaprabhu, yeah.
So they are also, we see them like their transformation is as per.
I know, understood. You are saying that when the associates of the Lord are coming here, we see that their bodies are transforming. But we must understand that from the point of Shastra. Again, you know that past time, Sanatan Goswami wanted to meet Mahaprabhu, and he goes to the Jharikanta forest and he drinks some impure water or something, and he has boils all over his body. And Mahaprabhu comes, when he's in Puri, Mahaprabhu wants to embrace him, and all the pus and everything oozing from his body gets smeared on the body of Mahaprabhu. Again, body means form of Mahaprabhu. Please excuse the language that has to be spoken like this. So he was thinking of committing suicide by coming under the chariot of Jagannath. And Mahaprabhu, understanding his heart, he said, what is this? He says to some other devotee, he wants to destroy the property of somebody else. You have already surrendered your body to me. How can you destroy my property? And then there further discussion. Then he says, Chita, that your form, Mahaprabhu himself, your form is completely transcendental. He says that to Sanatana Goswami. So you just can't understand. Have you not seen Narottam Das Thakur leaving his body, going to, seen means at least you've heard, going to Goloka, coming back again, and then disappearing into milk. So what doubts you're saying, they keep on surfacing in our heart. I'm not angry on what you're saying. It's just then we have to how to say fix our intelligence and by what we have heard from Shastra. You see, what to talk of the pure devotees, even those who are chanting Harinam, they are free from karma, but still they get some all kind of strange things in their life also. So very inconceivable. We can only understand this when we are very advanced, at least bhava and all those things. Then we understand how the name is not different from Krishna, how the bodies are transcendental and all that. First of all, do you understand what is transcendental body? Neither me. We have some conception, but we don't even know what is demigod body. So how do we understand what is transcendental body? So on the version of Mahaprabhu we understand. And also we have discussed in the previous shloka also that Arjuna also has a transcendental body. Quite bewildering. Yes, we wanted to bewilder you, and Krishna also wants to bewilder us. May all of us remain bewildered constantly by Krishna and not by his Maya. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for coming. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Tai Gaur Premanandi.